What is up, everybody? Ghost Media here. Thanks for tuning in today. We're out here with another video. Today is going to be an unboxing day, kind of what to look forward to. I got 3-4 packages in the mail this week, so we're going to go ahead and open those up, check what they are, and I'll kind of give you a rundown of a couple other things as well. Today's sponsor for the video is Versatile Wiring. They hooked me up with a killer. I wouldn't say they, because he's a one man. He's one man right now, but he hooked it up with some super killer stuff. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and go ahead and see what we got. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into this first box here. As you can probably see already, it's got a S1 built on it here. So we can already tell it's probably some all-wheel drive stuff. Let me kind of fix this camera here. Okay. So yep, got an S1 box. Oh, there's no blade in the razor blade here. Go ahead and get a new one. And this is going to be the Driveshaft conversion kit from S1. So when you get these drive shafts, the one that I'm running in particularly, it does not directly bolt up to the Honda diff or T-case. So you have to pretty much get these adapters, or you can get these billet bushing, like billet pieces that bolt on. Except for this kit right here is basically replacing all the U-joints, replacing all of the flanges to go straight to a Honda diff and T-case, slip joint and everything. Make sure we got everything out of the box here. Little card from S1, cool. Okay, so here we go. Got a little cut into this here. So this is going to be the slip joint on one end of the drive shaft. In case anybody's wondering, I am running the Freelander setup, so I'm going to be running the Freelander drive shaft viscous coupler, and I'm going to also be running the CRV differential, just because I've gotten such a great deal on what I already got from the drive shaft end, so I figured go pick up a diff out of the junkyard. Pretty much the rest there is history. I don't want to pay big prices for Wago stuff, so this is going to be one of the ends. There we are. Looks pretty good. And then in here, trying to make sure. Okay, so basically, the reason why this is only designed for the Freelander and not just any other drive shaft is because we will cut off the end of the drive shaft. This is a press-in type deal, so you can't just take any drive shaft. It has to be the same diameter as the Freelander here. So that's what makes this such a unique kit, is you can't just put it together like that. So a lot bigger U-joints than stock. I'm sure we can tell here in a little bit. Let's get this last one open here, and then we will kind of give it a little wrap and get on to the next package. We got 2 more to go. It's great that the packaging is well done. It's hard to open sometimes, obviously. So there's those. This will go with one of these, and this one will go with the opposite, I'm sure. So that is that. Looks pretty beefy. Looks pretty good. So that is good to know. Good to see. I'm gonna kind of put this back in the box here, just because I do have some bigger things that we're about to unbox. So kind of tuck this back away for a minute, and we'll get on to the next box here. And at this rate, basically with all the parts that I do have, I am basically done buying things, which is a good plus. I believe I have everything else. So here are 2 boxes, but I'm gonna go with the bigger one first, only because I opened it but decided to wait for the video. So this is pure raw reaction here. He said he gave me a little surprise in the box here, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into that. I can already kind of see we got something going on here, so we're gonna see. Great packaging. This is a box, we'll open that. This looks... Oh. I wonder if this is a valve cover. Let's see. It almost looks like a D series. Oh, shit. The table makes it sound like I'm slamming it a lot harder than I am, but I promise I'm not slamming anything. But, all right. Well, this will be exciting. We got another valve cover to add. No way. We got the VTEC D series one, boys. This is the one that I've been looking for. Hell yes. That is awesome. Okay. That is sweet. Okay, so as you know, I've been kind of working on getting some of the Honda valve covers. I basically have all of them from S2000, B16, Type R, GSR, F series, H series, K series, J series, D series non-VTEC, D series dual overhead cam. I believe that is a Z6. And now we actually have the Honda D series VTEC one. So that's pretty freaking sweet. Thank you very much. That is a sweet surprise. I would show you all of them, but my buddy just came and picked up most of them to get sandblasted and stripped down. So that is that. That is freaking sweet. Okay, so here is the deal with the harness here, guys. This is my original dash harness. So the issue with that is I was trying to get out of the car because I assumed that it had to come out with everything else, because that was what my perception was. I ended up having to cut out 2 connectors, unfortunately, to get that out of the car. And at the time I thought it was all one harness, so it was all going to be underneath the same deal. I was incorrect by that. So luckily enough for me, the guy that made my harness was super fortunate, super nice, and came through. So he repaired all that for me, and it looks like he greased up some of these plugs here with some electric grease, which is nice. He said he fixed a couple plugs as well. So I'm really grateful for that. So let's go ahead and pull this thing out just to kind of see. I think, perfect. Tug like Bruce Jenner. This is the entire dash harness of a 98 to 01. What is up, you guys? So this is kind of going to be a little mix up that happened here. So I originally had an unboxing video made. I had everything required about my harness. I had it all in the same video, individual clips, but they were all same video since I had to switch out batteries in between. And the issue with that was nothing at all, nothing was wrong. But the raw footage that I had at the time was perfect. I think everything was great. I go to edit a video, basically almost had it done. And then my computer shuts off. And so I try to get back into the computer. I get back into the computer and all the footage is gone. So, unfortunately I tried everything I could, and now it says that my SD card is wiped clean. I mean, I didn't go into depth of things of like trying to restore it. I couldn't even have the option to do that. So all that footage is gone. So I'm gonna try and piece some of that together here. There's only one clip that was actually still saved, and that was because I re-imported it before the computer turned back off. So let's kind of jump into this a little differently here. So as you guys know, I've been working with a wiring company for a while now. He's a guy located right outside of Oregon. Probably hands down, probably the best customer service I've ever had in any industry. Literally talks to you like you're a person, you know, not as someone's just another number at that point. He treats you, you know, individually. He finds your needs, finds your wants, and just meets them and goes above and beyond. So as you guys know, my harness was totally cut. These cars are, you know, getting to be 20 some years old. So a lot of things can go wrong with that. And so I think that was kind of my deal. Was I was finding out there were some things going wrong electrically. Not totally my fault in some aspects, but also kind of the car's fault in that aspect is too. And, you know, I always told myself, I was like, you know, I'm never going to buy a tucked harness. I'm never going to buy, you know, a new wiring kit. I'm going to keep this one for as long as I can, and I don't really care. But eventually I had to start caring, because as I'm about to show you here, my harness was pretty bad. So we're going to take a quick look at that. I want to apologize because I worked really hard on that footage before, and I don't know, I put a lot of time into it, put a lot of effort into it, and it just kind of sucks that it was deleted. So we're gonna go over the old harness, we're gonna go over the new harness, and then we're also gonna take a quick peek at the dash harness. I already started putting that in somewhat, so it's kind of already in the car, but also we can check that out real quick. I did tuck the driver's side harness as well, so we'll kind of look at that here real quick. So I did have to take off a couple of clips. They were pretty fragile, so they broke, but I can always get new ones for that. And I also ended up having to take off a couple other things as well. I think everything's gonna be okay. I might have to extend the brake master wires. Other than that, I think everything else is gonna be all right, but let's take a look at this here. So as we can see, you know, I had to prop that up and everything like that, but I went ahead and tucked it into this door harness here. I just kind of sliced it right here, and put those two plugs that usually would go through here into there. Everything else, I mean, has plenty of length to get what I need to. Only thing I'm worried about is the master wires that I can probably extend, and then these right here, but I think maybe those plugs will come through here and I can just plug them straight in there, so that shouldn't be a big deal. I'm gonna try to make sure nothing gets crimped down or snipped at all if the fender goes back on, because obviously I don't want that to happen. I was gonna try and make a hole here and push everything through here, and that would have been where they would have been tucked at, but it didn't work out. So I put the brake, or not the brake booster, the boost controller underneath here and just put it up here. Other than that, here is the beginning of the dash harness with the headlights or fog light stuff. So I'm gonna take this battery tray back out because I think this was originally underneath that and it kind of snaked down here. But I'm gonna see if I can maybe use these little self-tapping screw things that have like a little clamp on them, and see if I can put all this down here maybe. So we'll kind of go through that a little bit piece by piece, and then we're gonna try to get the fuse box back in. That's what these are from. And then yeah, so here is my old harness, guys, and as you can already tell, this is pretty sloppy here. I'll try to move everything so it looks a little bit better, but I'm sure it doesn't. So here's the old harness. This is all the additions for coil on plug. So here are the 4 coil plugs. Here is a ground for that. This is the plug that goes into the coil on plug. They have like a little module. And then here were all the things that were sliced into the wiring on my ECU. So that was great. Here's a bunch of, here's the ground for the charge harness. I mean, just everything, guys, you know. Here's the injectors up here. So as you can see, it's been definitely taking some wiring. Here's my starter wire, and this was an addition that I had to put in. And just, I mean, just look at that, guys. Like, nobody wants that. So this is what it looked like before. Obviously this is pretty rough condition, and sometimes they're even worse than this, and I know that some people watching this might have the same exact situation as me. But like I was saying, the footage that got deleted, really kind of try to show you guys that there are people out there like this that care about this kind of work and are willing to meet your accommodations and basically make it unfearful or less fearful for people like me and you that quite frankly don't want to do anything wiring wise, and we would rather just have somebody else do something like that, or, you know, whatever it is. So let's go ahead and check out this new harness. Also a big shout out to the guy over at Versatile Wiring. He also sent me a D-Series VTEC valve cover. So as you guys know, this was like the missing piece to the collection that I had here. Also, you can see that most of the valve covers are gone now. So good news is my buddy came and picked them up, and they're gonna get those sandblasted for me. And once they're all done, we'll probably start choosing some colors, finalize everything, make sure everything's ready to go. And then I'm probably gonna do 3 or 4 at a time, just because only having a couple of paint guns, it's kind of hard to switch out colors all the time. So We can do 3 or 4 at a time and then just slowly start piecing them together. So drop some comments down below what you'd like to see. Some colors is these valve covers here. It can be anything from Honda colors, it can be anything from basic colors. Whatever ideas you guys got, you know, they're open ears at this point. So right now we're gonna dig into this harness. I'm gonna kind of arrange this accordingly. Like I said, it's kind of crappy because the video I had was really well done, but we're gonna still make do with what we got here. So I'm kind of piecing this over. So here we go, guys. I got everything set up here. So this is the new harness we got here. As you can see, name of the company. You can find them here on their social medias. Super easy. But yeah, guys, just check out this harness. I mean, the simplicity of it is crazy. This guy offers 2 kinds of harnesses. He offers just a regular non-heavy duty type harness, and then he offers a heavy duty harness that comes with a little bit better heat shrink. You know, it's chemical resistant, heat resistant, stuff like that. But I decided to go with the heavy duty harness for my application, and I couldn't be happier with it. All of these plugs here are brand new, never been used before. Everything is super clean. This looks perfect. I mean, I couldn't have chosen anything different. He also did a custom thing where he included the Honda into the harness. So as you can see here is the Honda, and we got everything else here, injectors and whatnot. There is also, I believe it is in here, he included a charge harness for me as well, which was super nice. Really, my old one is just ugly, and it gets the job done, but it doesn't look as good as this new harness does. So I appreciate that. Here is the coil on plug harness that he made. So to explain this, these 2 plugs right here are for the coil on plug. So I can plug these 2 in to the harness here and run coil on plug. If I choose to go back to a non-coil on plug setup, I can just plug the my distributor back into this plug right here, and these will just get tucked away, whatever. But it is super cool to see someone that is doing this to give you the option to switch back if you ever wanted to, or say, like, let's just say, for example, something happened to the car and I decided to run a different shell or different setup, and it was non-coil on plug or whatever, you know, whatever it is. It'd be pretty easy to do so. So as you can see here, everything comes labeled, everything comes pretty well scribed out for whoever receives their harness. This is the chassis adapter, I believe, and it goes into the ECU. My injector plugs that I use, same as my other harness. And this is like one of the things I'm talking about here. So he pays a lot of attention to detail here. And one of those things is like this starter power wire right here. You can tell it's like a 90, so it just slides over instead of always having to, like, you know, bend it over and try to make it work. And I think that can cause some issues like that. But everything else, super straightforward. It looks, I guess it doesn't feel heavy, but it feels like well made. That's what I guess I was trying to say in the previous video too, is that it just looks really well done. And I mean, if you compare this to the one over there, I mean, it's no brainer that eventually that you're going to need a new harness at some point, whether it's a heavy duty one or if it's a regular one. Not only does this clean up your engine bay, but it also can help with your couple of grounding issues if you have any, or just simply getting power to the right things. So as you can go back to the old harness here,
we will kind of see that some of these might have some oil kicked up on them, or they might have, you know, they're beat up plugs from always taking them off. As you can see, I'm sure there's a couple of snipped wires here. Yep, like I said. So those are never fun to have. Sometimes you have to delete sensors out because you don't have those plugs anymore. For whatever reason, whatever people do it for, it's just so much better to run something like this. And I get it, you know, it's not always in everybody's budget at first, but I can tell you from firsthand experience, me never wanting to have a harness, this was the best decision that I've made. So a lot less headache, a lot less fighting, electrical issues. This is gonna be super easy to get in and out of the car, to plug in the car, to find what I need, you know, fan, you know, everything is labeled here, guys. Like every wire, every plug has a purpose here. And so that is the biggest thing, is that in these original harnesses, we have an idle air control valve. I'll show you. Idle air control valve, TPS sensor, and a map sensor that are literally almost always on these B series Hondas the same plug for all three of these here. So trying to play the guessing game on that is really hard sometimes, because you have to unplug them, you have to basically just keep swapping them until everything reads right, and sometimes that can be more than just a 10-15 minute game. So that's kind of how that is. It's just some of the things that you get with the harness that is like a big perk. So don't feel like you have to go spending, you know, $1,000 on a harness. Don't feel like you have to go spend gobs amount of money. There's people out there that have affordable things for you guys, and I'll say that this was very well priced. Go check out his website for his pricing for his regular. I don't want to say 100% what the price is, but I think it's right around like mid 400s, maybe 500 if I'm wrong. Quote, I don't know. And I think the heavy duty is probably around 700-ish, I believe, maybe 650. Like I said, don't quote me on that. Check out his website though. Either way, it is totally worth your money, worth your buck. He doesn't skip anything, and if you ever need anything or have any questions, you can hit him up at any time of the day, and he'll always try to get back to you within the day or so. But I know like right now, there's a couple of my buddies that are still waiting on their harnesses, like months. This guy is all by himself. He does a lot of good work. So I couldn't be happier with this. I really didn't wait that long for it. The only reason why I had a little bit of a wait was because I had to have the dash harness fixed. I had to have coil on plug built in. And so all that was little add-on things that take time. And I mean, as a car enthusiast that, you know, is literally going back from top to bottom in their car right now, I mean, you totally understand that. And so I wasn't upset with any wait time. I wasn't upset with anything, because the communication was there. The communication was spot on. Everything was good to go. I mean, like I said, once this thing gets in the car, I mean, we're really about there, guys. I mean, I can't say that there's too much more that needs to be done, but we're waiting on a lot of fabrication work. So if I can try to get everything done on my end, that way when I get this car over to fabrication, then my life will be 100 times easier. So in the next couple of videos, I'm going to be doing the Hub City trailing arms. I'm going to get those in. I'm going to probably do the driver's side. One, because the camera angle is going to be a little weird over there. But if I could just do one on video, I think that would still be a big help for everybody. So as far as that goes, super big thanks to Versatile Wiring and what he's done for me. Super awesome. And he threw in a valve cover for me. Really shows the support and everything that you do. Like I said, you know, we're just keep chugging through some content here. It's unfortunate, like I said, once again, that the old footage got deleted. It kind of hurts, but we're trying to make do with what we got. I can't be any more upfront. This harness was worth everything invested into it, and I think that this is going to go a long way. So also, one of the next couple videos, once I get my fuel cell in and everything like that, we are going to be doing a fuel harness install video. So he sent me out one of these fuel harnesses here. Just turn this guy around real quick. He sent me out a fuel harness that will work for me, and he gave me a sheet. It's literally half a page long. There is a bottom to it, but that is not directly for my chassis. So super easy here. He explains everything that needs to be done, and I will go all into depth in that video. So that's exciting. Like I said, guys, like, there are big companies out there that do things like this, but they never take care of you just as much as like this guy does. And that's why it always pays homage to the small businesses, because a lot of those small businesses out there realize that they're doing things maybe at, say, a cheaper rate, or maybe at a different kind of rate compared to a bigger company. And they're trying to grow it and prove themselves that they can be up there with just about anybody. And so I think that's the big thing is entrepreneurship, is simply just getting your brand out there and exploring. So like I said, guys, we're gonna get this harness in. We're gonna finish up this dash harness here. I'll show you guys that in like a few seconds. But yeah, I think that's everything as far as that goes. The beginning of the video should show you my S1 Driveshaft kit. That basically gets rid of the front and rear flange on the driveshaft, so that way we can bolt up to the Honda T-case and Honda rear diff. So that takes care of that. That will all be done in the video as well. I might have another drive shaft coming next week, actually, now that we talk about that. So might have another all-wheel drive build coming to the channel, we'll see. But real quick here, we're gonna take a look at the shifter and the dash harness here. So the billet shifter is in. Everything seems to be pretty well with this so far, except a couple of things, but we're still kind of working that out. We're gonna wait for the car to start up and moving before we can diagnose anything like that, from what I can tell. The dash harness is just kind of thrown in here right now. Obviously I'm gonna, tuck it up and push it up there or whatever, but I started plugging in a bunch of stuff, as you can see, in the steering rack, trying to get the adapter through for the driver's side harness, and just basically trying to get everything else put up. And once everything's mostly plugged in for the most part, I think, then I'll figure out how to mount it up there. I know it was kind of along the line here, but I'm going to see what I can do with that. So we'll kind of keep going with that. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. Just going to keep chugging through some content. Next video, we'll either be talking about the harness again, getting that installed. I'm going to try to get this dash harness done fully before I move on to the engine harness, only because I know that it's going to be a little hectic if I'm finding plugs that aren't plugged in, and I'm going to be worried about 5 to 10 other things. So we're going to try to get this dash harness done. It's kind of claustrophobic because I'm like lodged underneath the dash there. So once again, guys, the sponsor for this video was Versatile Wiring. Check them out. I'll put links in the description. Couldn't be happier, like I said, guys. So make sure to go over there, follow him, see what he's up to, ask him questions. That's the least you can always do. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that people want people to ask questions. So yeah, so we'll see you guys in the next video. So stay tuned.